Hello guys, Awesome Chess Blunderer 24 here, and today I have a game that's played between Alexander Grischuk against Ding Liren in the round 5 of the FIDE World Cup. And yeah, this game is pretty interesting. When I saw it live on broadcast yesterday, at 2 in the morning or something. And yeah, I find it interesting, so let's just get into the game. Alexander Grischuk's white and Ding Liren's black, and yeah, Alexander Grischuk started off with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, g3, d takes c4, bishop g2, and this is the Catalan Opening. And here Ding Liren played a6. Alexander Grischuk, during the interview, he said he needs to start learning more about Catalan theory, as he said he just said he struggled with a6 like he did against Benjamin Bock when Benjamin Bock played c6 like a couple of rounds ago or something, I believe. In the interview he said that. Ding Liren played a6. Grischuk castles, knight c6, e3, protecting the pawn as knight c6 was hitting the pawn, rook b8, getting his rook out of this long diagonal, and probably preparing b5 in some later. Knight fd2, just preventing b5 because the knight's just hanging, and also just hitting the pawn. e5, just probably trying to open up the center. Bishop takes on c6, as any slow moves such as d takes e5 will be met by like knight takes e5, and b5 will be coming soon or something like this. No slow moves here. Bishop takes on c6, just preventing b5 and just messing up black's pawn structure. D takes e5, knight to g4, just hitting on this pawn. Knight takes on c4, protecting this pawn and regaining his pawn back, and bishop to e6, just hitting the knight. Queen e2 is played, and h5 is played, and rook d1. Alexander Grischuk just develops with tempo, hitting the queen, and queen c8 is played. And here we have one game that's played in 2012 by like a Russian grandmaster against like 2300 Mexican players, I believe. I saw this position somewhere, but yeah, the database says that knight bd2 was played here, and knight bd2 was played, h4 followed by h4, knight f1, h takes, and it's just and the game ended up with white winning. But here followed by rook b4, b3, just a lot of moves being played here. But here wait, let's just get back. And here Alexander Grischuk blundered, and this is a new game now. But yeah, he definitely played this move with the idea of if Ding captures on this pawn, then he has queen takes on c6, after followed by king e7, and then now he has b3, and he's gonna get mated really soon somehow, or either like suffer a lot, he has to give up a lot of material. So yeah, you do not want that to happen. But the thing is, Ding just can't, he doesn't need to take on this knight. He can play a really nice move, which is bishop to d5, just hitting the queen and eyeing down on this nice diagonal. And so basically if Ding were to move his queen somewhere, for example like queen e2, then he would face h4, which is just not good, because he just wants to open up the h file and mate him. And if white plays f3, then h takes g3 will be played. H takes g3, rook h2 hitting on the queen. Queen, for example, if queen d3 is played, which is a mistake, then bishop takes f3, and you're gonna get mated really soon. So you do not want that to happen. Instead, it was better to just a second exchange to yeah, and you'd have a pretty fine position here. As after something like queen f5, well then queen c6 check, king d8, f3, queen c2, some ideas like that. Well, you have like some ideas, but the thing, yeah, but in this position, Ding in the interview said he wasn't confident on playing bishop d5. He saw this. Of course he's like a really sharp tactician, but he doesn't want to play bishop d5 as he couldn't handle. He just doesn't like rook takes, which he doesn't like his position after this, because who wants their king on an open file, like, instead of being safe. So yeah, Ding instead sacked an exchange by playing rook b6. What a move! What a move! Counter sacrifice exchange. Yeah, a brilliant counter sac. Just protect this. The purpose of this move is just protecting this pawn, just preventing it from being captured. So yeah, Grischuk took, Ding takes, and now h4 is played. Wait, no, sorry, my bad. H4 is played by Grischuk, just preventing h4 by Ding to start an attack. Just his king is kind of vulnerable. So knight takes on e5, regaining the pawn that has been taken before. Queen f4, knight g6, just hitting the queen. Queen e4, and here bishop e7 is played, just developing. And finally Grischuk could develop to knight c3. And now bishop f5 is played, and queen h1 is played. Here, if he would, why queen h1 exactly? Because the thing is, you want to put your queen on this diagonal, so you could play f3. So for example, if you were to play queen d4, then you would face bishop to g4, which is kind of annoying, hitting this rook d2, and then now you could play bishop f3, and Ding will have queen h3 and queen g2 mate ideas. So yeah, you do not want to do that, which black will be just better. So you play queen h1. Now knight to e5. Just probably like having ideas. Black has ideas of playing bishop g4 followed by bishop f3 now with protection. And now f3, just preventing bishop g4, and bishop c2, just hitting this rook. Now rook to d2, just attacking this bishop, but blocking his dark square bishop too. Bishop g6 and queen g2, just improving the position of the queen. Now castles, and now rook d1, just finally with, now he has Grischuk has ideas of e4 and just developing his bishop, dark square bishop. So now queen f5 hitting this pawn, rook f1 protecting this, and now queen to e6, just going back. Now knight to e2, which is an interesting move, having ideas of knight to f4, just hitting this queen, just wanting to trade because you're up material, so why not trade? So knight to d3, just putting pressure on the b2 pawn, and like just kind of sort of preventing the bishop from develop without without giving black material. So king h2, just improving the safety of his king. Rook to d8, just developing rook. Now e4 with ideas of like just developing the bishop right now. And now f5, just even though Grischuk improved his king's safety, his pawn structure is just not providing him with a lot of safety. So yeah, Ding just, and with the bishop on the board, Ding just aims to exploit the king not being safe, and just somehow try and find a mate. So e takes f5, queen takes f5, just protecting this knight, overprotecting. Now knight f4, just asking for trades here. Of course, if you take, then the dark square bishop could take and develop nicely, so you do not want that to happen. And also you're hitting this bishop here, so yeah, so you play bishop f7, not giving up the bishop pair advantage. Knight takes on d3, just you know, taking this knight. Now rook takes on d3, just putting a tiny bit of pressure. Bishop to f4, just developing here. And now yeah, that's pretty much the only way to develop without having a pretty, let's just say, ugly position is just bishop f4. Because yeah, either way, wherever you develop a bishop, black's just gonna gain material. Like now black has bishop takes on h4, and yeah, and Grischuk's also really low on time during the game. Just yeah, it's like he has like what, 10 minutes compared to Ding's 40 minutes or something. I remember watching the stream, but I forgot how many minutes he had. So yeah, I saw this move being played, but I still forgot how many minutes. Bishop takes on h4 is played, and here if you were to take, then queen takes, then after king h1, then bishop d5, and yeah, your position would be really ugly, so you do not want that. So instead Grischuk plays rook to d1, just asking to trade. You know, you're up material, so why not trade? Rook takes, and now bishop to f6, just retreating and hitting the bishop and hitting the pawn. b3 just moving the pawn out of fire. g5 just starting an attack and just hitting this bishop. Bishop c7 hitting this pawn. Now bishop d5 here, and now queen e2, just saying that Ding could take his pawn. So for example, if Ding were to take his pawn this way, then yeah, Grischuk has just perpetual ideas. For example, queen e8, king h7, rook d7, you know, king h6, and just perhaps some perpetual ideas here. Just saying you can't block because this bishop's pinned to the queen. So instead, yeah, Ding plays g4. Now queen to d3, just asking for trades. Of course, you do not want to trade, and he trades. Wow, yeah. And after queen takes d3, rook takes d3. Now g takes f3, and now you have this really nice advanced pass pawn. And now bishop takes, just preventing this pass pawn from advancing and gaining some material. Now after bishop e5, then well, Grischuk spends like what, 30 minutes calculating, and yeah, he took a while to calculate because, well, he got time control as it's move 40 here. Yeah, gets extra 30 minutes of time, and he spent 30 minutes wisely, and yeah, not really that wisely, I guess. And he played bishop d4, and now Ding played bishop e4, and they both agreed to draw in this position, to a draw. Because yeah, it's just the evaluation boss hates it's equal, and they could just simplify to a king and pawn endgame, like with equal. Just yeah, for example, rook to d1 will be played, and now bishop takes on d4, rook takes on d4, and now f2 will be played. Now just sacrificing this bishop for promotion, so you do not want to do that, and you play rook d1, and now now you could play, black plays bishop d3. You know, you still can't take because queening, so you gotta play king g2, just preventing promotion. And now you just promote and just simplify, and here, yeah, Ding and Grischuk know their pawn's endgame and know this is equal, so you do not want to play this out. I mean, yeah, just waste time and play this out. So yeah, they agreed to a draw in that position, but because they calculate this deep. And yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's Awesome Chess Blunderer here, and see ya.